Hey y'all, it's Vicki and welcome to another video. So today is Tuesday, September 9th, and it is 7:54 a.m. and it's 47 degrees and it's 86% humidity. It does feel good this morning. Had to turn the defroster on. A lot of heavy dew last night. And that's about it. I got my notes here, but a couple of things I'm going to bring up before we get into these notes. I'll try not to make it too long. Is this lipstick color? It's supposed to be coral. Okay, we're supposed to be wearing orange today because of something to do with National Hunger Month or something like that. And so the only thing I have that's a true orange is this quartzite t-shirt. I've got some things that are reddish orange and I have an orange dress, but I was just not in the mood for an orange dress today. And here comes these silly people riding around on their lawnmower picking up trash. And I know that's their job. I sound like Tim now, don't I? And that's not what I meant to do. Anyway, it goes on coral, but it dries down pink. And you know, I have so many lipsticks that are supposed to be coral, but they dry down pink. Or when I say they're orangey looking, but they dry down pink. What's up with that? Is it my body chemistry that makes it go pink? Is it something in the formula? Now this is another Maybelline Superstay, but this is probably the worst one I've ever had as far as not being what it looks like in the bottle. And I don't have it with me. Anyway, I just got to remember, every time I put this on, it goes pink. And that was not the point. I have to buy a chocolate brown in order for it to really look fallish on me. And I know it's not fall. It is meteorological fall. So technically, in my eyes, it is fall. But anyway, let's move on and talk about Tim. Okay, yesterday, he put up that hour-long tutorial. I think actually it was 1 hour and 1 minute, I do believe. Now, I thought he was having trouble uploading. You know, he just said in another video that he was having trouble uploading. So he must have went to the daughter's house, and she probably has Wi-Fi, and he was able to upload it there. I'm just guessing. I know he said he was going there or whatever. Anyway. Now, I didn't watch the video, but I did listen as long as I could. You know, since I talk about him, and since I've kind of had I thought about some of this stuff, and I'm thinking, well, the least I can do is give him a view, even though, so, I mean, it was playing, so he got credit for an hour of watch time, even though, I don't know if they can tell the difference. I would think they can't, whether you're listening or anyway. And I don't have any idea if he really gave some information that is valuable. Now, some people in the comments said he did, so I can only assume that he did. But did he give more valuable information, or was it more what not to do? And either way, it works. Now, I wonder whose idea this was for him to film this and then upload it in an hour. Was this the daughter's idea? Was this Tim's idea? Maybe this was the grandson's idea. I don't know. Anyway, I don't guess it matters. These are just things I think about when I'm listening to his video, is why did he put this up? This has to be something he thinks that can go viral. Well, it's rare that an hour-long video goes viral. I'm just being real, but what do I know? Okay. He tells you how to pack and secure the exterior. I'm just telling you what it says here. Bringing in slides and securing the interior. He connects the camper to the truck. He disconnects utilities and adding fresh water. And I guess AI knew this was in order. I don't know. Setting up the weight distribution hitch and dumping the wastewater tanks. Now, like I say, I guess that is all great information for someone that is camping for the first time. But I would think there's some shorter videos out there you could watch, because if I really wanted to know everything, I would have started looking for another video to watch. Long videos I like when there may be interviews or they're talking about something, maybe beauty or fashion, and maybe people that camp, they might find this interesting. I just didn't. Okay, then he talks about he got up with his morning coffee. This was, he uploaded, I think, these are out at the same time. He says he plans to stop at a Super Walmart before meeting his daughter for a photo shoot. So I guess they're doing a family picture, Y'all know about how I feel about those pictures. He reflects on his recent stay, especially those that offer discounts with the America the Beautiful card. He considers going west to places like Moab, noting the pleasant evening temperatures there. Well, it's pleasant here. I mean, and I'm not telling him to come here. Don't worry, I'm just saying in Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, it's cool here right now at night. So, and I don't know about the coast. I don't know what the temps are. I haven't really paid that much attention, I'll be honest with you. So maybe it's not cool there. And I don't want anybody to think that I want him to come here. I don't. There's nowhere for him to go here. We don't have, the only campgrounds we have is, there's a couple of campgrounds, but they stay full this time of year. I'll be honest with you, they stay full. And we're full. That's right, we're full, so stay out. Okay. He said he didn't know where he was going. Now, I understand that if you're just riding around. Like sometimes me and David get in the car on Saturday and he'll say, where we're going? I'm like, I don't know. Wherever the mood hits me when I get out here to the stoplight, I guess. Whether I go left or right. Because I can go right to somewhere else. I can go left somewhere else. So, there's probably more options going left. But sometimes you just want to go right. Anyway. And those are all I'm talking about all of them that are within an hour's drive. But now he's talking about, going to all these places. Okay, a lot of us feel that he will end up in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I don't know if he will or not. That's just our speculation. So there's a number of places he could stop on the way. And I don't like the way this shirt looks next to my skin. I wish that I had a seamstress, I know this has nothing to do with it, that could cut the neck out of all of these men cut shirts and give me a neckline. And I'm sure I could find one, but I'd have to pay him probably more than the shirt cost. Anyway. I did some research, and probably the most economical place he could go to and stay for a week or two is Cherokee, North Carolina. But when you look at cell coverage, T-Mobile has the worst cell coverage of anybody in that area. So he wouldn't probably be able to upload. Poor thing. So I guess you have to, and I don't know if his friend Sal Grock, whatever, tells him that information when he's, asking it questions. I think also in Gatlinburg, and maybe not Pigeon Forge, but maybe in Gatlinburg, T-Mobile doesn't have good coverage. When you get over there in the mountains, there's only so many companies going to put up cell phone towers or 5G towers, whatever. Now in Pigeon Forge I had 5G, but I have Verizon, so I don't know about T-Mobile, and I'm pretty sure AT&T has, but I'm not sure. Like I say, T-Mobile is kind of, North Carolina hasn't been a big state for them. They've always been okay in Charlotte and places like that, but I mean, as far as back in the mountains, it's kind of been dominated by other phone companies, smaller phone companies, and they either run off AT&T or Verizon. So who knows? Now, like I say, he could get to the interstate and probably stay at Love's Truck Stop or wherever, and okay, he got that phone call about his skin, or from the dermatologist. Sorry, I'm jumping the ground here. Okay, jumping the ground. What kind of saying is that? I'm jumping the gun. Was that call real? So was the call real, that he really got one? Because normally you don't get a call. Most people don't get a call unless something's wrong. They expect you to go to your portal and look there or whatever. I'm not going to say, I'm just saying here, when I had my test run for the breast cancer, they didn't call me. I saw it first. They called me like 4 or 5 days later. So, but I guess if something would have been wrong, I would have got a call sooner. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just comparing it. I know it's skin cancer. It's something different. But anyway. And with Tim, you never know what's real and what's not real. So is this going to be an excuse for him to go back? Now, some people think that he's left Florida because of the rent going up. Well, he had this spot, or a spot, last year at this time, so he knows what the rates are. Now, the one thing I thought of was that he had been complaining about the new manager. So maybe the new manager wasn't honoring whatever deal he had, and that ticked him off. I'm looking at this truck. It's just like his. It's a work truck. Anyway, I just don't understand. I don't understand him at all. And I guess I'm just looking for word filler right now, because I was watching Wrestling Days last night, and he said that people tell him he talks too much. He needs to slow down. And he's like, well, I feel like I need to be talking while I'm on here, because why else are you watching? And you don't want to hear silence. So anyway, I hope he's all right. I really do. I hope that this was nothing. They were just calling to tell him not to worry, have fun on his trip, whatever. But you just don't know. And you don't know if he really got a phone call. I have said all along, if you get as many calls as Tim does, why don't you turn that thing off while you film? I mean, that's what I would do. I would turn the thing off. So anyway, I don't think I missed anything in these notes, and I don't know what else to add other than I do think he's probably going to end up in the Charlotte area, if that's where Tammy's at. I don't know where, is he going to end up at, Dinger said that his 8-Ball said he was going to end up at a subscriber's place. Now, he talked about a subscriber a while back in Tennessee. So maybe that's where he'll end up at. I don't know where they live in Tennessee, but, that could be where he ends up at. But I think I said yesterday is that those roads are not good. And I just can't see Tim pulling that camper in the Smoky Mountains. I just can't. But maybe he'll fool us all. Maybe he'll fool us all, and he'll go and he'll pay for a space, and he'll just have a good old time. All right, I gotta go, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your support. You can tell I'm kind of acting silly because that's what I do when I try not to think of real life. So I'm going to go, y'all. Again, have a great day. Thank you again. Love you. Bye.